Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be there with you in person tonight, but hopefully this short video and the accompanying PowerPoint will be sufficient to explain my connection to real medicine and what I've been doing for the Foundation over the past year. My name is Nick Taranto. I graduated from Dartmouth College in 2006 and recently returned to the U.S. from a year on a Fulbright grant to East Java, Indonesia. Before leaving for Java last summer, one of my friends from Dartmouth told me about real medicine and suggested that I give Martina a call. I had been to Indonesia twice before, photographing and conducting research in Aceh province, following the Southeast Asian tsunami of 2004. My senior year at Dartmouth, I wrote a thesis on the effectiveness of non-governmental organizations in contributing to disaster responses. It sounds worse than it was. I had spent a lot of time reading about microfinance and asked Martina if Real Medicine would be interested in funding a microfinance program in Java. This is what I want to talk with you about tonight. I became interested in microfinance because I saw it as the most effective, accountable, and efficient way of defeating extreme poverty. When I spoke to refugees in Aceh during my undergraduate research trips, they told me that what they needed more than houses or psychological care was jobs. I had spent a month in Mississippi after Hurricane Katrina, and I saw FEMA cutting checks for $2,500 to people who had never owned more than their next week's paycheck. The results were to be expected. Without accountability mechanisms in place, those beneficiaries ran to the nearest Best Buy and bought new flat-screen TVs. There had to be a better way to provide people with the money they needed to restart their lives. Microfinance changes the entire model of distributing aid dollars and fighting poverty. At his Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech, Muhammad Yunus, the pioneer of microfinance, said, "Global peace is inextricably linked to poverty." Most of the people I worked with in Java have been living on pennies per day for generations. If a family of 5 has one breadwinner and that person earns $1 per day, that means that each person in that household is living on 20 cents per day. It's hard, if not impossible, for us to imagine getting by on pennies. A cell phone call, a small coffee, a drive to the supermarket, a day's worth of expenditures gone in seconds. These horrible disparities used to depress me on an existential level. Due to the geographical luck of my birth, totally by chance, I managed to avoid the trap that ensnares 1/6 of humanity. It didn't seem just. In fact, it seemed cruel. But then I realized that there is really no reason to feel bad about the lives we lead, as long as we take it upon ourselves to make a positive difference. I realized that microfinance is the best, easiest, and most accountable way that we, people who have an interest in saving the world, can make a difference. By giving small loans, usually less than $50, the microfinance programs that Real Medicine funded and that I helped to run improved the lives of thousands of people. The PowerPoint presentation included here outlines some of the specifics of what Real Medicine did alongside Compip, an incredible Indonesian NGO that deserves more respect and admiration than they will ever feasibly get. I have seen firsthand the power of small, what we would consider trivial sums of money, to dramatically improve the way that people live. With a $50 loan, Mrs. Wibowo, a formerly unemployed widow in her 50s, bought a brick-making machine and now supplies her village with the materials they need to rebuild, while she makes an income that she can store for a rainy day. Mrs. Sukiman took a $20 loan from Real Medicine to open a sundries shop. She now brings in $5 per day, enough to send her children to school and keep her whole family fed and clothed. We're not talking about miracles here. It's simple economics. If you give people who have never had opportunity the chance to use the free market to prove themselves within a well-monitored and accountable framework, chances are you will not be disappointed. I believe in the ever-increasing potential of humankind. Microfinance is the key to unlocking that potential on a far-ranging grassroots scale. Thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and the auction. Have a great night.